Hello and welcome back to Friday Minis. Now, if you've been working with web browsers, particularly on the back end, you would have probably heard of terms like Gecko, Webkit, and so on. What exactly are these? Now, this is a very interesting conversation because, well, these tools are sort of an integral part of the web browsers, but in this day and age, they've also broken free of the web browser and have gone to, be used in different contexts. But I'll start from the beginning. You see, these two tools that I've named are actually web rendering engines. Now, you are probably familiar with the concept of HTML, right? A web page is essentially a bunch of marked up code, and this comes to your web browser. Your web browser needs to parse and understand it, and eventually basically reconstruct that into the web pages you see. This is handled by the web engine. This is essentially the role of Gecko or Webkit or so on. So yeah, that's what I mean when I say they are integral to what a web browser does, right? A web browser needs this to even get web pages displayed to you. Gecko is the web rendering engine designed for Firefox, whereas Webkit is the one that was designed with Chrome. Webkit also has a newer version called Blink now, right? But I believe they are, more or less the same. So in this conversation, I will be using the word Webkit. When I say these tools have broken free of the web browser, here's what I mean. Mozilla's Gecko engine, for example, is also used by many of Mozilla's other products, for example, Thunderbird, which is an email client, whereas Chrome's Webkit is also used in areas like web views in Android apps. So if you have an Android app that embeds a web page, or if you're writing, using a tool like Cordova, which is something I use a lot, that basically packages a web page into an app, you are essentially running Webkit. Webkit is the tool that's being used to render the web page. So yeah, those are your web rendering engines. While originally designed for the web, they have now sort of broken free of the browser. Now, there are actually other engines at play as well. For example, Chrome has a tool called V8, whereas Firefox has a tool called SpiderMonkey. These are not web rendering engines, these are JavaScript engines. Again, it's the same idea, right? You get an HTML page, it comes with embedded JavaScript, which is code that is run, and usually enables some kind of interactivity on a web page. Well, that stuff needs its own engine as well. So those two engines that I've just mentioned will run the JavaScript, right? And then, execute whatever actions that are required. So yeah, again, these are tools that are written for the browser, right? To enable web pages to have, rich content and interactivity. But once again, some of them have broken free. You can use both SpiderMonkey and V8 in standalone situations. V8 in particular is the sort of driving force behind a tool called Node. You've probably heard of Node.js, right? It's essentially a JavaScript engine. You can use it to write code, you can use it to write even servers if you want to. Yeah, that runs V8. That runs Chrome's JavaScript engine. So yeah, it's an interesting day and age that we live in, right? These web programming tools are all breaking free of the browser. They're all going towards different applications. So yeah, there you go. These are the engines that are involved with the web and now beyond, right? But that's all there is for this particular episode. I hope you've gained some insights on these tools. Until next time, you're watching 0612 TV with NERDfirst.net. Thank you very much for watching. If you like my work and are feeling generous, you can shoot me a one-time donation on PayPal or sign up for a recurring one on Patreon. Of course, you can simply like, comment, and subscribe. You know the deal. For more videos, links to my channel and a related playlist are on screen. Thank you for your support.